What should I vote for you?
This is a round forum of politics affairs. I am the tree square. Let's see. 95.1 FM about inside politics. And now.
From our studio time now is about 5 minutes gone past the hour of 9. And today is the 18th in the month of August 2026. And this is Inside Politics on Legacy FM. Inside Politics is a session of our program where we took a deep dive into political happenings across the country. We also look at political developments from the home front, digging deep into political returns from government officials, government policies and programs, and how people are reacting or accepting some of these program policies and political engagement across the country. Over time on this program, we have dived into political development at the rural areas, gauging developments at development center levels, LGA. We also look at zonal politics, national. Barrister Pakin Suzo usually join us when we do a deep dive into political development globally. Today we are going to look at politics at the local level. Again, this time around, this is not about talking about development in terms of infrastructure, but how to maintain a peaceful event going into the election. Our focus this morning is going to be in the Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone, political development in the Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone with regard to the ruling party and cases coming from opposition political party members. References abound. Last 2 weeks, a case of attack alleged to have meted on a PDP chieftain who left APC about a week, going back to join PDP with his supporters, Barrister Ifeanyi Nwore. And the report we got that it was that his hometown was meted with all manner of violent attack by alleged APC members. A PDP chieftain, Barrister Ikechukwu Nwogbo, went on a national television and escalated the issue, called names, and he mentioned the chairman of, I think, general manager Pipe Production Company, and also Barrister Friday Abom, whom all through the night have tried to see whether I can get Barrister Abom to join us on the program to clear some of the issues. And some lawyers are saying that they should take legal action against Barrister Ikechukwu Nwogbo, as if that issue was not enough. One of the elders in Ezza South, that is Christopher Nguta, the one they call GNG, have his own house attacked, vehicles damaged, and his wife has alleged that as a result of that violent attack, she has lost her pregnancy. That's talking about miscarriage. As this event were happening, we are hearing some of the young supporters of the ruling party in Ezza South saying that it has been a case of anti-court martials, trying to curb court activities in Ezza South. In other words, what happened in Ezza South were anti-court group. So far, we have tried to carry out investigation. There is nobody officially existing as anti-court martial at the local government level or at the state level. Now, we also did other investigation on the background, and we found out that some of the members of the ruling party, in trying to defend what has happened, has said that as a member of, some of them vehemently said that the more you try to do PDP affairs, you will see spirit. And I've tried to dissect that statement. You see spirit. And I've found out that it's difficult to see spirit while we are alive. So you can only see spirit as a dead body. If you watch Nigerian movie in Hollywood, you know they wear white garment. Sometimes appear in a skin painted with powder. And they appear in the night, they will sing a strange song and scary music, but you can't touch them. So when you promise somebody that the person is going to see spirit, I want you to know that metaphorically, you have promised the person end to existence or life. That's on one side. We are going to be joined by a PDP sympathizer, Imegwe, who is a journalist, and also a public affairs analyst. Over time, he has expressed his disdain on the person of the governor of Ebonyi State. From issue of land grabbing, he has accused the governor, which the governor on one of the Sundays distanced himself. He has also alleged other issues against the governor online. So we're going to call him on phone. He was supposed to join us live, but because of exigencies of his own engagement, he wouldn't be joining us. It's good we brought a journalist this morning, because on the day Ifeanyi Nwure's house was attacked, some journalists, especially the chairman of Correspondent Chapel, openly stated that they were violently attacked, and he mentioned the name of those who attacked them that day. Paramount among the persons he mentioned was Barrister Friday Abom. I engaged him on a private phone conversation. He said that the attack did not only end there, that they engaged Barrister on phone conversation, and he continued to attack and violent language. And that's why we tried to engage Barrister Friday Abom this morning to see how far he can distance himself or whether he has his own side of the story. I have in the studio this morning the vice chairman of NUJ. Yes, the vice chairman, or former vice chairman of NUJ Ebonyi State, a public commentator and a public affairs analyst. Good enough. He's from Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone. The story we are having is that this violent attack will be moving from, because we heard some in comic form, that the anti-court martial will be moving from Ezza South to Ezza North, from Ezza North to Ishelu local government. So Ben, you have been a victim of violent attack when you collected wood from some few soldiers of a council chairman, as was alleged then. I don't even know how the case ended. And taking away this matter, this is not first. If you calculate the issue of the time Uchenna Inya was also attacked during the political tussle of traditional rulership in Oboji. Is it Oboji or Nkomoro in Ezza North? Yeah. Uchenna was beaten to stupor and his vehicle destroyed. So there has been this series of attacks. Uche alleged on the national television, Channels TV precisely, that it was actually a violent attack because they went to cover the activities of PDP. And he named some persons, but they kept saying that they were wearing T-shirts belonging to a National Assembly member. But nobody has had the balls to mention the name of the National Assembly member. So this morning, how do we begin to curb this violent attack within Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone? Because if we give example, if you go to Ebonyi North, we have two major contenders there. Wayo Jemba is of Apga extraction, contesting against the national vice, is it deputy chief whip? That is Barrister Kachimwe Ebonyi. We have not heard that there was violent attack. If you go to Ohuku local government, a very young contender of Apga extraction, Barrister Tochukwu Aleg is also contesting to the incumbent Ezenwa Chukwueze. It has been conversations. It has been who has the highest followership. We have not had physical attack, meetings of this opposition. So why do we keep having this type of occurrence in Ebonyi Central?
Thank you, my brother Geoffrey. I'm going to talk beyond the scope of being a journalist.
Okay.
I know that journalists have been victims of this political violence, not only because of 2027, it has always happened in the past. But why this one is so bad is that it has started again. It is quite very unfortunate that Ezza South has always been, the bad example of political violence in every election season. And this one that has started happening is such that every Ebonyian should condemn. Because we have to see politics as a serious business. In the sense that you cannot, it's just like you open your shop and you are telling your neighbor not to open his own shop. People cannot belong to one political party. Some people have been revived because they have pitched their tent, they have formed alliance with various candidates. And coming from a ruling party to now be aggressive, that people are pitching their tent with others, I believe we are getting it very wrongly. And this is the time for us to speak. We are speaking because political violence is condemnable. What is happening in Ezza South is quite unfortunate. And every stakeholder should use this medium, this particular time, to condemn it. Because others may not be, folding their hands, to watch their supporters being victims of attack. So, what is happening now? For me, the perpetrators are saying that they don't want any other political party to spring up in Exas South. They use Exas South as a takeoff point. They also, some of them who called me to sympathize with me the day we were attacked, said, be careful of Exas South. Exas South and Exas North have resolved that no other political party will have any engagement or any activities there. So that is to tell you that even our security agencies should live up to their expectations. What is happening today in Exas South is, to me, not in favor of even the governor. It is not in favor of APC as a political party. It's not even in favor of those whose names are going to be on the ballot. Starting from Senator Keneze, starting from Honorable Fred Ogbewu, and to other candidates of Ebonyi Central, especially those from Exas Extractions. For me, I'm trying to look deeper, into what is happening, to be those who felt that certain individuals are not capable or shouldn't even be where they are now. They are now creating enmity even beyond 2027.
Okay, you don't there because some persons are saying, like, when you talk to a member of the ruling party in Exas South, they will tell you that it's a war against cultism. You think these activities of violence attack is beyond politics, is not about cultism?
That is why people don't think, they always narrowly say something just to get away with it. It is just a mere propaganda, childish, petty propaganda for that matter. What is happening is not related to any cultism. It is just people who are just struggling to give it a bad name. We are in Ebonyi State. We know how it has always been. They want to use propaganda to cover that dastardly act. For me, as a victim, about 2-3 weeks ago, I don't see it as, a gathering of cultists. Are we cultists? Journalists, are you saying that some of us are cultists? We are not. We are going to do our legitimate duty. The person that we even stopped our car, they fired the album of a person.
Okay, you were in that car?
Yes, I was there. I was in the bus.
So Barrister Bom actually was the one that stopped the vehicle?
No, what happened was that, when you are traveling, there are some strange signs you will see. You'll be more conscious of security. At least it will tell you that something is happening.
Of course.
We don't actually know the venue of the event.
Okay.
But at least Ifeanyi Nwori is somebody that at least you can ask somebody, he will direct you. We had already passed the youth to a certain extent before we ask questions. Somebody told us that place you people saw those guys standing is the entrance to Barrister Ifeanyi Nwori's compound.
Who are the familiar faces you saw at that
That is
junction?
what I'm still coming.
Okay.
And I said, even when we were saying, we recognize Barrister Friday Abom.
Okay.
So when we were like contemplating either to just go back to Abakaliki or we now resolved inside the bus, about 10 of us. Friday Abom is there. He's our own man, even beyond politics and everything. He's our regular friend. Since we saw him there, let us go and ask him what is happening. To our greatest surprise, we stopped there. Was even calling Fred Abom to come. If you see the aggression this guy met us with, it was just God that saved us, that he was unable to get access into the bus. He was just hitting the bus, hitting it. In fact, Geoffrey, let me tell you that it was only on that day that I said, God, thank you for saving our life. If not, if Fred Abom had succeeded the way he wanted to attack us, maybe some of us may not have been, talking now. Is it that we landed ourselves in hospital or anything could have happened? Some of us, it took us 2 days to recover from the emotional shock.
Why is it that when journalists are attacked in this manner, it will just end up in press releases, no legal action? One will be thinking that since you have cited the likes of Friday Agbom, you should have petitioned his monitoring organization like MBA for disciplinary action. Or you should have also written a proper statement to the Nigerian police force. Did that happen?
Yes, we did all of those things. The chairman of Correspondent Chapel, Comrade Uche Nenya, actually did all those things. And I believe that, the police authority is actually doing something in that regard.
Okay. And then, like I said, I've tried all through the night to reach Barrister Friday Agbom to speak on the matter, especially areas he has been mentioned. This is not the first time that you remember, may his soul rest in peace, who cited prior to 2023, a lawyer who was also wielding cutlass prior to 2023 election. Unfortunately, he couldn't live to be part of the election or even enjoy the benefits. Why do you think we, in Ebonyi, on regular occasion, have seen legal practitioners engaging in thuggery? You think it's about a case of your profession does not take away your real personality or lack of disciplinary action from the legal practitioner's body?
It is quite very unfortunate. For a lawyer, it is not an easy task to be a lawyer. You pass through the rigorous process of university education to law school, and after everything, you come back home every election. You carry cutlass, you head, armed thugs to beat up people for another person, not even your own election. So for me, it is all about individual. There are still lawyers who are self-disciplined. There are still lawyers who are very reasonable. But it is quite unfortunate for any lawyer, to involve in thuggery for another person. If you are a thug trying to secure victory for yourself, I would say, it is your business. You can get to any level to achieve what you want. But, doing it for another person is quite unfortunate. I don't know why we get to this point.
Since you are aware this event took place, apart from Barrister Friday Agbom, who else did you cite as part of the culprits that led that attack on journalists and vis-a-vis the members of the opposition at that place?
You see, while you were making your remarks, you said that nobody had been very good to
call names.
Especially the name of those who were the senator that some of the
which politicians were they wearing his uniform?
You see, for me as a public affairs analyst, I don't really, have narrow interpretation to issues. This is election period. That somebody is wearing...
Opposition can actually champion that.
Yeah, and let me tell you that in every election cycle, a group of politicians usually change. There are some people, even when they are going for any child education of a ward chairman or secretary, you see that many people would like to identify themselves with, customized, T-shirts and all those things belonging to their party.
All right. Okay, let's go into this. The Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties, Barrister Valentine Okikeozo, was on a national television and he said, and I quote, that some of this attack in Ebonyi that is being alleged is carried out by ruling party is actually carried out by opposition political party members, that there is faction in some of the political parties. It was precise about PDP, that is members of Udo. As an investigative journalist, do you think there is truth in that?
Anyway, this is election period. Everybody is entitled to his own opinion. My friend Val, is a party man. He must have said what he said to defend his party, which is his right. He may have said something to also create that impression. But, what I know is that what happened was far from what my very good friend had said, I'm not, beyond being a journalist, I know what is happening today is known to everybody. It is political violence. People don't want others to breathe. The supporters of APC, in their own resolution say they have resolved that the only person they know is APC and the re-election of Governor Francis Nwifuru. So, but what we should even be talking, are you following it the right way? Are you following it the right way? That you want a particular person doesn't mean that you kill to show that you are supporting the person, if at all the support is not, is not sycophantic. Because even the governor comes from a place where, other political parties, like you said, are springing up on daily basis. There has not been any attack in any other part of Ebonyi State except Ezza South. So it is something that you should begin to think whether it is actually in support or obviously trying to create bad impression on somebody, maybe because you feel that, since I cannot get down the person now, let me
Okay, let me put it this way. You think what is happening in Ezza South is just exhibition of enmity, that this is an opportunity for me to get at this person and color it politics?
Honestly, I agree with you. I agree with you because if you come to Ezza South belongs, in my own assessment, APC, in fact, just like they used to say, APC is Ebonyi State and Ebonyi State is APC. Let me borrow that word. APC has stronghold in Ezza South. So for anybody to begin to attack people that are just trying to earn a living through political participation is being unfair to himself. Ordinarily, Senator Kennedy doesn't need political violence to win Ezza South.
But he lost Ezza South in the last election. In fact, he's the first Ezza man who has contested for Senate and lost the two Ezza dominating local government, Ezza South and Ezza North. What makes you think that the difference will happen this time around?
The only thing is that when the circumstances, that surrounded the 2023 election is quite different from what is happening now.
Okay, let me mention this. Since this violence attack started, we have not heard any official statement from the state government endorsing or condemning it. The stakeholders of Ezza South has not collectively spoken against the violence within Ezza South, if not for any other thing. It is painting the local government in a bad light. Now, some of the stakeholders were also mentioned as being part of the talks that led their attack. What do you think stakeholders of Ezza South should be doing? Is one of the after equal local government, I think Ezza South should be topping in terms of number of respected stakeholders. Let's look at the likes of Ugo Chima. Let's look at the likes of the former Chief Judge. We look at the likes of, Innocent Chima, former secretary to the state government. I think he's also from Ezza South.
Yes, Boniface
Chima, sorry. The chairman of Traditional Rulers Council is also from Ezza South. When we start seeing violence attack like this, what do you think that the leaders of the local government should come together and do?
That is the essence of this radio program. Because it behooves, credible media like Legacy, to begin to bring up conversation that we are awakening the consciousness of our people. That this thing is condemnable, political violence is condemnable, allow people to breathe, allow people to feed. It is quite unfortunate that, Chief Ugo Chima, who is chairman of Ezza Elders Council, I don't think he has said anything officially on this matter. This is the time for us to call him to immediately convene security meeting.
Another group I think have become very influential in Ezza extraction is Ezza Elite. where you have the billionaires from Ezza Extraction. Baby Oko, I think, is their chairman or president. Ndomo is there. The likes of Maybe Fego, Hard Foam. They fought vehemently against cultism when young people of Ezza South Extractions were killing themselves. You think they should step into this situation?
You see, why it seems that some of these people, some of these, actors, are shying away from doing the right thing. It's just because the perpetrators of this political violence, anchored it that they are supporting MIFU. So they think that, if you come down to say, please stop further, violence against our people, some people will just mistaken it to be,
working against
MIFU. That is where the problem lies. And that is why the government or the chief security officer of Ebonyi State, who is our governor, should, issue a public statement condemning any form of political violence anywhere, whether in his favor or against him, so that these people will learn, because there are a lot of, pretense everywhere. People will not say the truth because they don't want to be seen as, being antagonistic with the re-election of the governor. No.
I don't know whether I don't know.
The governor has peaceful disposition. He doesn't need violence anywhere.
Okay, let's look at this. Another emerging problem from Ezza South and Ezza North, Ebonyi Central, collectively. Let's push this violence to social media. Once you hear, if you do anyhow, you will see spirit. If you trace the profile of the person that owns that Facebook platform, it's either the person is from Ezza South or Ezza North. If you hear people saying no opposition in Ezza land, you will possibly trace it to Ezza North and Ezza South coming from young people. Now, why do you think that once young people are given opportunity, they will feel that the only way to retain relevance is by applying force and coercion to a large extent violence?
It is also connected to what I've told you, that psychophancy is the greatest enemy of politics in Ebonyi State. All these people saying that want to be recognized. All these people who are saying this want to be seen as powerful stakeholders, especially some of them that are just emerging. And that is why it seems that some of all these, shenanigans are already getting out of hand. People should be held responsible for their actions, especially the ones they are speaking. And how can you curb all these things? We have security authorities. It is still behoves government to protect life and property.
Okay, let's put Imigwe on the line. I think he's coming because he's supposed to be part of the program. Hello, Chief. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Very well, sir. I hope via our social media platform you might have been following the program. But a quick question to you. Yes. We are looking at the violent attack within Ebonyi's Ezza South local government and event leading to the general election. What will be your take on that?
Yeah, it is unfortunate that election violence is very recently attacked in Ebonyi in a South local government. That local government has been associated with electoral violence. Right from 2007, there was a time the entire convoy of the then governor of Ebonyi State was burnt. And now, the South incident is wearing that. And I expressed the governor, or rather I expressed the governor, that come up openly and say, look, this is not good. Who are the compensators? Let them be arrested and brought to book. It's bad, and nobody that's born of a woman should encourage such things to happen.
Let me use this opportunity to ask you, which party are you in now? Are you still a member of APC? Because I've seen how you have been very hard on the governor in terms of his policies and programs. I read one article you wrote and called the governor a land grabber.
I'm still a member of FPC. Let me put this in on record.
Okay.
My job is still different person from my newspaper.
Okay.
There are two different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
The issue I called the governor a land grabber. I mean every word of what I say.
So to you today, Governor Nwifuru, by your own description, is a land grabber.
Yes, he's a land grabber. He takes my life plus 110 past estate. As this nation has been traded, I grab the land that doesn't belong to him. And I never gave him any paper saying, you take this land. Yeah, he remains a land grabber in all definition.
Okay, on other issues of leadership, you have also been heard that Nwifuru has performed abysmally, because so that people will be guided that no matter what you say, you have your political interest. In these areas, you have discovered, in summary, you have described the governor as somebody who has performed abysmal. What is your basis of those publications in your newspaper?
Yes, you see, these are things that have measurable indexes. But I find whether somebody has performed abysmally or not.
Okay.
But up to now, there is no single project you can point to that Governor Nwifuru has commissioned. And he passes this thing called non-disclosure. People have been saying how much have been spent on Bangkok flyover. Nobody knows how much have been spent, whether there have been violation or not. These are the things, but who believes that the Bandibo deserve a better governor?
Why is it that you have your wife at the center of this government, and at no point have you advised her to resign from a government you have described as a center of incompetence? Do you think in area of transportation that the governor has performed well? Because your wife is the general manager of Ebutrans.
Yeah, my wife is a separate person from me. What we work together is very domestic affairs. So I've never asked her to resign. If she felt that the government she has, that she's comfortable there, yeah, let her continue. Because I'm a Democrat, I will never impose anything on anybody.
Why I went to the direction I'm going is that some persons will know the political direction that you're coming from. And going forward, what do you think that elders of Ezza South, you are also of Ezza extraction, and you are one of the elders by age.
I'm not from Ezza.
Yeah, sorry, you're from Ezza extraction. That's what I wanted to say. So what do you think that leaders of Ezza should be doing to curb this emerging violent attack? What the narration we are seeing is that the anti-court martial, that is what they call people that met this attack, will be moving from Ezza South to Ezza North, and from Ezza North to your own local government, which is Ishelu local government. What do you think that Ezza leaders, coming from the Christian leaders, who have notable Catholic priests and preachers from other extractions, we have political leaders in Ezza South, what do you think they should be doing at this point? At least on the image of this nation called Ezza Nation.
Yeah, I believe the elders of Ezza Nation should come out openly and condemn such unnecessary attack. On the issue of because we are not associated with violence, I believe anybody that involves in violence during electionary campaign is doing that out of fear. And if they are popular, why do you need to involve in violence? Why do you want to inflict fear on the people that possibly vote for you? So this is where the question lies. So that people should come out, the elders should come out and say, look, we don't want this. And I believe the women have done that. Because I read that the women actually protested nature because of such violence going on there. So they should, the elders should come out and say, look, we don't want such thing. On the issue of anti-court martial, I don't believe there should be courtism. I condemn courtism in all its ramifications. But that anti-court martial should not be turned into political tools to silence opposition. That is bad. Because opposition should exist. There should be different voices. People should be free to belong to any political party they wish to. So that is my own stand on.
Okay, just before we let you go, the common mantra here is no opposition in exile land. You are from exile extraction. Today we have Professor Bernard Odu as a candidate of NDC. Right Honorable Anna Edwin Wong is a candidate of NDC for House of Representatives. When you hear that kind of dangerous mantra as a Zaman, how do you feel about it? And how will you begin to signal to young people who are championing that once you hear no opposition in exile land?
If you hear no opposition in exile land, exile man is by nature democratic. So the people say that if you rather say the exile people that are in APC, and that is where the problem lies. You cannot say there should be no opposition in exile land. People are free to advance the cause of God, to say no guys belong to party B or party C. They also, and Anna Young one, they have the right to advance any position they wish to. So that is your there's no opposition in the Ghana. It's all and void. And the big champion that people that are being governed by their stomach. People that want to get money, people that want to impress the government in power. That's not how we function. And that man is democratic by nature. And if you want the number of people land, who have leadership that evolve from the family level, down to the given level, down to the village, and up to the community level. There's no way a man has that and discuss that, look, we're going to vote for party A or party B. So those things that are made, there's not any two statements on the entire population of Exile.
Okay, there is massive call within Ebonyi Central Senatorial Zone and there's a extraction that Exile people should vote for Nwifuru massively. That is the only route or is the easiest route for Exile man to take over 2031. Why are you not joining that chorus? And what do you think that is alternative strategy Exile people should have away from that?
I believe people that are following that route are people that are mainly in NPC. It's a bag. What I mean is a bag. Just that you can put food on trap and the rat or grasshopper will come and take it. Because we will never have plans of handing over the Zama. That is my bet. Because if you have such a plan, who among the judges have been placed in a line ministry that will take over from him? Example is not even in the 10th position. You can take over. We are not SAD, we are not SAD, we are not speaker, we are not deputy speaker. We are nothing. We are not even within the 5 line ministries of the state. So I don't believe they will to hand over. It's a mere bet so that people vote for him. And on alternative, because I believe that so many other alternative routes that the Zama can use and get to the governorship. There's no way a Zama will get governorship through the Abakaleke man because of the old-time rivalries that existed within the same family of Abakaleke or Wekubeng. I believe none of them, no person that is from Ekumenyi area will hand the Zama over. But the Zama need to struggle for him to access the power, not by following Nwifuru. Nwifuru will never give a Zama power. I think that they have another person that are proposing, and that they have 3 persons from a different clan that are now building up to take over from Nwifuru.
Who are those 3? Who are those 3 persons from your findings?
Those 3 persons. Those 3 persons are from the minority area of Ishem.
Like who and who?
Yeah?
Like who and who, sir?
These are not, there's a difference between truth and there's a difference between
speculation. Okay.
There's a difference between speculation.
All right.
These are truths, but you may not have documentary evidence.
So to you as an examen, that you have the impression that Governor Nwifuru will never hand over to examen.
Yes, I have those. I have it on good record.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. If there is need for us to get back to you again, even though you are supposed to join us live, we'll get back to you. Thank you very much. You just listened to the voice of Chief Igwe, who is the publisher of National Issue, is of exile extraction from Ishelu local government area. And he has been critical on the person of the governor and he has maintained that he's still a member of APC. Do you agree with him in some of the things he said?
I listened to him very carefully. He, at least if you would accept where he's coming from, he is entitled to his own opinion.
Of course.
And freedom.
Of course.
You know, I don't share same opinion with him.
Okay. So in that case, let's leave it at that. It means you never agree with whatever he said for us to maintain time. So let's get back to some of the things you said. You said that the day you went to Ezza South local government, Barrister Friday Album was hitting the vehicle of journalists vehemently and ferociously. I've also interacted with the chairman of Correspondent Chapel. He maintained the same line of argument and also mentioned some of the leaders from there. But let me take a look at some of the things we have on our Facebook platform. This one is saying, that is a Kuma Obina Joseph. He said that it's to this flyer our studio manager please wouldn't allow me separate colors here, but let's see. It was a kind of saying that journalists should not go and cover events where they are not sure of their security. And he also mentioning, I think they should have given notification. It's not what it should be.
He's totally out of it.
Okay.
You know, it's totally out of it.
Because it's also the duty of journalists to even cover violence areas.
And they do.
So, all right. Okay. Our phone lines are open 0814-915-1274. You can also join us on the program 080-615-70766. Central line is 070-116-61003. And our focus this morning is the margin violent attack from Ezza South local government area, which some persons are saying that it will be escalated. Members of ruling party in Ezza South have said that they don't want anything called cultism. And the attempts that they have been making is not attack on opposition. They have been doing everything possible to avoid occultic gatherings in Ezza South. While members of the opposition party, especially PDP, are saying that this is just giving a dog a bad name just to nail it. That they have ended every effort for them to gather as the opposition party to have the engagement. We have also been monitoring the speeches coming from young people from Ezza South extraction, where you will hear them say that if you do anyhow, you will see spirit, or there is no opposition in Ezza land. We have also heard other trajectories like, if you come, you will collect woto. And the journalists in Ebonyi attempted to go and cover event, and they collected woto true. Their vehicles have not remained the same after that day. So you can reach us now. Let's see. The essence of this program is to advocate for intervention from relevant authorities, and also as a way of building confidence for the forthcoming election, and also canvassing for conversation-based political engagement. In fact, sometimes people that apply violence do not even know that with conversation and persuasion, you can make the next person understand why the person should live where he or she is and come to the part where you are. And when you try to met force on your fellow man, you will start seeing something like resistance. Okay, it's all okay too. So instead of these persuasive strategies, you see people applying force. And I've also identified on the program that most of this mayhem and political violence that has been witnessed in some part of Ebonyi Central is being carried out by young persons who have opportunity to be in politics. We are not seeing older politicians engaged in some of those things. And there is no political office holder, especially the elected one, that have been directly linked to this attack. Why the young ones always? Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Godfrey.
Good morning there. Your name, sir?
It's Ofuma Declan from Ijali.
Declan, go ahead and make your contribution.
I think Ebonyi State is more for this kind of politics of bitterness and rancor. And I think a journalist, they need to draft a strong measure by ensuring that whoever they discover who sent them these dogs, they should not be covering the person anymore until the person comes on air or any place to apologize. That such a thing will not happen again. But most of at the end, they will can beg the journalists and they will just keep it out of their mind. And the struggle continues. The beating and attack continues. So that is on the side of journalists. Then for the examination, I have stated it before now, that the elders should call on their voice. Because those boys are doing all those things for noticing, so that they'll be noticed during the time of appointment. That's why majority of them are getting into such an action.
So are you saying that in Ebonyi today that violence is part of the meal ticket to get political recognition and appointment?
My brother, it's not that I'm saying. I stand familiar saying it. If you don't misbehave or beat people, attack people during the time of electionary campaign and during the time of election, they will not remember you because they will send their name to the Oga. He is the only person that fought very well. The other ones were dormant and docile. So that is the issue that is happening in the Ebonyi state. Until they started looking for credibility and forget about doubt, Ebonyi will not start. Thank you, God bless you.
But let's look at what Ovuna Declans have said. Do you think patronizing young people who are known for notorious attitude is also part of the problem? Maybe after engaging in violence, you see such people being given front-line roles in governance. You think it's part of the problem?
It has always been happening. And that is why it seems the problem is unabated. People will go and commit atrocities, and their paymasters will say, yes, you are doing well. And that is why we should change the narrative. We should begin to, introduce, people-oriented, issue-based campaign strategy that is devoid of political violence. But the problem is that when you are responsible, you are civil, nobody recognizes you. In fact, they will say you are a weakling. These bad boys beat people to get appointment. And they will even be proud to say, upon what I did to you. I burnt the other house, I burnt that vehicle, I disrupted people, injured people here, you have not compensated me. So actually, the narrative is something that should be changed.
Okay, let's keep it at that and take this call. When we return, we'll continue with that conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Godfrey.
Your name, sir?
This is the voice of Tori Boson, calling from the government.
Sunday, go ahead.
In fact, this program this morning is very interesting and wonderful one. I concur to what Ovuna Declans have just said. In the Nigerian politics today, as you can watch it, if you are OUS member in a ruling party or whatever party that is going on, and you work tirelessly, even with the little resources you have in your own personal pocket, after everything, this and that, it is an opposition, people that you wait on your own and convert, which was entirely.
Oribo, can you still hear me? So sorry about that. I think he's agreeing with what Ovuna Declans said. Let me allow you to finish your line of thought. You are agreeing that compensating violence is part of the reasons why the violent courage of young people will not abate. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your name, sir?
Yeah, it's more just from America.
It's good. You are calling from Ezza South. So what's your own observation?
My brother, first of all, let me commend your University Institute.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
You have done justice to all the topic. And again, I want to say that I'm not happy with what is happening in this examination. And it's equally unfortunate that our elders are not, doing their work. Because we have been expecting person like Fukushima to come out to say that, or this and themselves away from this happening, that they are not involved, they are not in support. This is not our culture. Killing your brother and fighting against your brother has never been our culture in this land. I don't know why people have chosen to be in the side of violence just to win election. I'm not happy. I condemn it in total.
All right.
And I asked Peter, my brother here, Dr. Kennedy, to come out to say that it's not involved or in support of all this. Some of them, and I want to ask this question: all these people, are they free from court activities? All those so-called marshals, whatever they call themselves, are they free from court activities? That's another question. So we are not happy about this. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Uche Nawoja. Anyway, we just have a few minutes to go now. We'll be driving home by asking you this question. What do you think is the way out Some persons have said the governor should speak out. Some have been calling on elders of SI extraction. But my question is going to be basically on the side of journalists. You permit us to take some of this comment. Go ahead. Somebody, Vunandi clan suggested, and I'll reel out attack on journalists in Ebonyi and how it all ended. Then we'll sum up from that axis. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Okay, we lost that. I mentioned the attack on, or what is it called now? Uchinya in Ezza North, another journalist. There was also a time that it was rumored that the chairman of NUJ was attacked. Aluna was attacked. You were attacked. And after releasing papers, press releases, you will still see the same journalists going to cover the activities of the person that... Hello there.
Yeah. You just got me off.
Sorry about that. It's network, not my effort. So sorry.
I also have, as much as I was saying, if something is happening in a particular place, whether local government, ward or city, and the government officials are in the surroundings, they know everything. It's not their fault. Why can't they kick and say, come out boldly and condemn the attack? But they keep silent, showing you that there is a little on ground to make opposition not to even say anything or come out in person. So they want every person to be loyal and say yes to what they have just said. They don't want any person, other person to entice their franchise. So you cannot speak inside and say the child not to cry.
All right.
But how then can you just say that you want opposition? Everybody has the freedom of worship. That is how politics is.
All right.
Today, we are no more practicing democracy, but autocracy. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Ribo. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
My name is calling from Ulamusheke.
Austin, go ahead, sir.
Godfrey, I thank you very much the way you present your topic. You have the audacity to speak on the issue. I want to congratulate you first.
Thank you.
But before I proceed, I start on the ground that there is no any time we encourage evil in order to acquire wealth. Naturally, it is bad. I know that violence at any angle, sometimes it will make peace, but it is always good for us to encourage violence. First of all, let me go to the start of the journalist. Journalists stand as the watchdog of the society, giving us information of everything that is happening. Why for attacking the journalists? Are they politicians? Are they not doing their work? Are they enshrined by the constitution that guiding them? I condemn that one. Now, for somebody to talk that you will do this, that is going to have to hand over to somebody who knows who is going to hand over. During the time of the devil, is there anybody attack the devil to hand over to anybody? Sentimentally, they have in mind that we cannot hand over to anybody. Politics is when you go to participate, I don't want to say that they cannot attack Okoneru, but let them start attacking him in a correct way.
Thank you.
Politics, you cannot call somebody and give. Even if you want to give to somebody must be loyal and back to rules so that you get what you want, not by violence.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name, sir? Joe, go ahead and make your contribution.
Also, I want to comment Mr. Igwe from Michelle with bold speech. He can count one of the people that can be bold enough to speak as a man. Thank him. Everybody, or is that not an example? That been every time this kind of state, they say it's a no-go area. And that's of course and harassment. It is very bad. I urge the Igwe and the stakeholders of that side to go to the drawing board and do the needful. Then, for attacking the very bad problem, not being done. One question is very, very important. Look at election. The election was a very big election there, and the election was very hard. At last, you cannot say there's no question in my area. It's not possible. I must go to shop. What is the election to be had? So some can compare. Is that not an example to take note and give Nigeria. Thank you, okay.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Your name? Very well. James, go ahead.
So I want to correct an election.
Okay. Okay.
I want to say that what happened in that house, precisely danger, is a matter of if there is a rancor between Abomo, Barrister Aboma, and Barrister Ivan Woli. It should be found a way to separate. It should not be assisted to any other ruler in that central. Somebody called Chief Emmanuel who is saying that the can even have what to be near that man. Where did he get that information from? Why should people be saying something that is not true? We are saying about what happened currently, and he says it's investigation. And this person that people here that is saying about the thing and both of them are blackmailing.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you are the chairman of Ezza South local government and you notice this consistent violence within your local government, what will you do as a local government chairman?
Okay, listen now. You don't just take over what happened to the media and start criticizing and blackmailing.
So we shouldn't take over what happened, which even when media men, hello sir, even when journalists were attacked, it shouldn't be taken to the media.
How far have this, what is happening in that house is not different from what is happening in Nigeria and what is happening in the entire Ebonyi State.
What is happening in Ezza South today? Hold on, sir. What is happening in Ezza South?
If you want to do a campaign, you have to do a campaign. It is against a code of conduct for you to come to the media and that it's really rubbish.
Okay, tell me the code of conduct that have been broken this morning from Nigerian Constitution and the code of conduct you talked about. What do you call blackmail? Mention the aspect of the program that blackmailed an individual.
My brother, you know that need to say I support violence.
No, we need to get all those things. Who was blackmailed on the program?
Now, even though this thing is cracking, I'm not hearing everything I say. But what I'm saying is this. Just listen you very, very well.
Okay.
Just who will win. And who will not win. It's happening in Osunse. Even the incumbent governor, they are taxing different type of power.
So you are one of the Hold on, sir. Are you condemning violence, or you are saying that violence is part of politics? Okay. Because I really wanted to know who was blackmailed on the bread. Hello, good morning. Just before we go now.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Godfrey.
Good morning. There, your name?
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. What I want to say is about the violence that has been taking place in the South and the North. It is not heard and it is not in a good record as far as that local government is concerned. See, the journalists are doing a job, and I don't think that there are violence in any area that will attract beating or attack on them. The stakeholders should stand up to their responsibilities and condemn that attack. Because when you start like this, in future, for no distant time, it will take somebody's life, which is not good.
All right.
It is positive. They take for brother and brother. You see, if something happens, they will brown a bad act they made, shifting it to another area or another people. Let the elders, the stakeholders, come on, bring those people together and warn them. A government, a community that goes by violence does not take good. in the history of that community and in the state generally.
All right. Uncle Joe, thank you very much. Thank you and God bless you. Okay, Ben, before we go now, so that we'll go back to perspective, you have mentioned that when the boss conveying journalists were attacked, Barrister Agbomo was at the forefront. So we are using this opportunity to establish free invitation to Agbomo to come and defend himself on the roles he has played. He has been mentioned on national television as one of the attackers of journalists and to a large extent the members of opposition in Ezza South. And also to the ruling party members, if you think there is any way you have been misquoted or you have your own side of the story, if you have facts to establish that those people that gathered in the name of opposition are court members, you can come here. We'll join you in the fight against cultism. For us here, we're also preaching against wrong rhetorics and narrative from young people, like threatening your fellow young person that if you talk anyhow, you will see spirits. That is promising somebody death. We have continued to say that no human being can see spirit in human flesh. It will only take a dead man, even reading from the Bible, by our tradition, or by any religious standard you want to color it. It will only take the dead to see the spirit. So when you tell somebody you will see spirit, be rest assured you have promised the person death or annihilation. So to Ben, what will be your parting words?
Yes, before my parting words, I want to sincerely, advise the person that called, the second person that called that,
The one that mentioned blackmail.
Yes, there is a code of conduct in every radio establishment. We are not here to blackmail anyone. What we are doing is to provide solution for the unity and peace.
I think where he was talking about blackmail, when we are calling on leaders, like the traditional rulers, leaders of Ezza South, political office holders to condemn what happened, that's not blackmail.
I almost thought that the caller was part of my attackers, our attackers, because the way he spoke, I didn't understand any patriotism in his comment. But anyway, he's entitled to his own opinion.
Course.
What we are doing and the essence of why we are here this morning, leaving other important things to talk to our people, is that there is no need for political violence, not even in Ebonyi Central, in every part of Ebonyi State. Because, it is better to judge
than to war.
And the governor, who is our master, the principal, is not even interested in any violence. So I wouldn't know why people think that unless you perpetrate violence against any opponent, you are attracting the praises of the governor. Just
before we go, do you believe in what Mr. Umugwe said? That Governor Winfrey, he has his own record that is not ready to hand over to Ezama.
Anyway, my brother Imigwe is entitled to his own opinion. He must have, I don't know where he must have gotten his own.
He said it's from findings.
Okay, it may be his personal findings. I didn't join him to
do the fact finding.
To make such fact finding. But what I know is that beyond all these calculations, we should always give God factor into it. Because somebody who is saying that governor will hand over to Mr. A or Mr. B, do you know whether the person will even be alive? So, but of course, politicians always prepare for election even 5 years away or away to come. So, but what I'm saying is that you cannot, as that people should take it, to bank. We cannot get governorship through violence to impress anyone.
All right.
We cannot be handed over. If we cannot hand over to Ezama just to compensate them for political violence. It is all about persuasion. And the governor is noting all this political violence. If Ezama people cannot put their house in order, no governor will like to hand over to a turbulent, political actor.
All right. That's a good way to end it this morning. The number of persons following us on timeline is not the number I'll be mentioning this morning, but the ones that are at the screen now, I think they may appreciate Polycarp Obina Lego following us online. Sonny Annie. We also have Richard Nwangu. Richard. Austin Emeka is also there. And Dr. Emmanuel Eze, that is Immaculate. We also have Matthias Chibueze Mojiji is watching from London. Ekuma Obinna, Joseph. He was the one that said that you people should learn how to take permission or find the security balance before. Christian Ebudon from watching from Anambra State. Decency Steve. Also have a Pilot Jonathan and the rest. The ones who couldn't mention now, we recognize you on our profile. My name is Godfrey Chikwere, and the guests we have had this morning Emmanuel Igwe, the publisher of National Issue, who joined us from Abuja. And also have live in the studio, Vice Chairman of NUJ, former Vice Chairman of NUJ, who was also a victim of the violent attack in Ezza South. He was one of the journalists that was going to cover event by PDP and was vehemently attacked. He has been thanking God here without any envelope or any kind of living thing like a white cockerel. And he has consistently, like other PDP members have said, mentioned Barrister Friday Agbom as one of the chief culprit in that violent attack. I spoke with Agbom around 2 p.m. yesterday. And yesterday evening, when we concluded we were going to have this topic, I've been trying to get him online. So even within this program, to also state his own side of the story, but his number has not been reachable. Not that we called and he didn't pick. So we'll be offering him between tomorrow and Friday to appear and answer some questions. Upon his arrival, we'll be, this is an expo so that he will get prepared. Whatever denial is going to have, he should also be on the know that some of the journalists has pictures of what happened unknown. And we also expect him to come with his own pictures to counter some of the things they are claiming, and has also been claimed on national television. For those of our brothers in Ezza South that have been victims of this violent attack, our heart goes out to you. The essence of this program is not to demean any extraction of a Ebonyi state. We are growing and praying that we are going to get to that level where politics is going to be a matter of conviction, persuasion, and appealing to those on the other side to join. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has on several occasions mentioned that. And also, you have seen that within 2 years in office, for the first time we are seeing Pius Anyim, Dave Umahi, Obin Noba, Sylvester Obaga, Julius Ucha in the same political party. At no point did Governor Winfrey apply force. And I have all their resignation letters. They have also made this statement that we are not joining the APC because of APC. We are joining because of Governor Winfrey. So why can't we maintain peace and live in harmony for the sake of the man who have dispositions from the angle of peace, Governor Winfrey, as a way of supporting his effort and also as a way of making sure that the peace which will mount on daily basis that he has established will penetrate every nooks and cranny of a Ebonyi state, including Ezza South. One will maintain the respect that Ezza South have produced men of global repute. Today we have a live bencher who is from Ezza South, the former Chief Judge of Ebonyi State. We also have veterans in political field like Chief Ugochima. Ezza South also produced the notable Chief and distinguished Senator Ofianwale. Remembering those men will tell you that at no point did they get to the level they are by the number of gunshots or the number of axes and weapons they wielded during political seasons. It was intellect, it was connection, it was exposure, it was persuasion, and it was linking with other parts of Ebonyi State. If you do this, Ebonyi will become a better place. My name is Godfrey, and to the studio manager, Innocent, thank you for being part of this program this morning.